It turns out another well-known crypto company had their hand in the FTX Sam Bankman-Fried cookie jar. This is an article coming from Watcher Guru. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research. I'll have a link to this article down in the description below. I'll share my thoughts on this at the end. Let's go ahead and dive on into this. Crypto news site The Block was secretly funded by Sam Bankman-Fried. Axios reported that a prominent crypto news site, The Block, was secretly funded by former CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried. Furthermore, the developing story has now led to the resignation of The Block CEO, Michael McCaffrey. A media company that prided itself on its unbiased and independent coverage has just been revealed to have been funded by one of crypto's most infamous names. Sources have disclosed to Axios that Alameda Research funded as much as $40 million. Sam Bankman-Fried funded crypto news site. The collapse of FTX has been a tragedy unlike any that the crypto industry has seen. Seemingly overnight, the platform went from being one of the most prominent names in the industry to a potential criminal enterprise filing for bankruptcy. The contagion of FTX's demise has spread far throughout platforms in the sector, yet it seems as though its reach has extended far beyond just the interior facets of the industry. Axios reported today that the crypto news site The Block has received secret funding from Sam Bankman-Fried. Moreover, the revelation has now led CEO Michael McCaffrey to leave the company. The report notes that Alameda Research, Bankman-Fried's trading firm, paid as much as $16 million in one funding batch. Additionally, sources told Axios that portions of the funding were utilized to buy an apartment in the Bahamas for McCaffrey. McCaffrey is now departing the company, leaving Chief Revenue Officer Bobby Moran as the new head. The Block was founded in 2018, with McCaffrey ascending to the CEO role in 2020 following a buyout of all investors. The report states that McCaffrey engaged with Bankman-Fried in talks of a potential loan to finance the buyout in February of last year. LLCs controlled by McCaffrey reveals that he received 3 loans from Alameda Research. The first loan was reportedly for $12 million and used to fund the buyout of The Block. Subsequently, the second was for $15 million and provided capital for the media company. Additionally, the third was for another $16 million, which reportedly was used to purchase the Bahamas apartment. Morin confirmed to Axios the legitimacy of the transactions. Conversely, he states that he was only made aware the transactions took place this November. My immediate reaction was anger, frustration, and concern for all my colleagues, Morin stated. Conclusively, Morin added, everyone has worked incredibly hard over the years, since before I joined and since I've been here, to be fair, accurate, and independent in their coverage, and through this would call that into question, and it's frustrating. All right, well, here's the way I look at it. The fact that he's saying that he only found out about all this back in November, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of weird, don't you think? You're like, okay, I just got $16 million to take care of a Bahamas apartment, which, by the way, an apartment for $16 million? I think that's kind of outrageous in its own regard. Like, come on, you're going to do $16 million. I would assume that it would have been a house or something. But no, apparently it's an apartment in the Bahamas. And you thought that Los Angeles and New York was expensive. But to be fair, I mean, I'm assuming, obviously, that they own the apartment. Let's not get into that topic. Let's focus on this right here. So when I talk about with FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried was the former CEO of FTX. And there's a lot of questioning on how funds were being handled, or I should rather say mishandled with FTX. And I think this raises a good question with the substantial amount of money that we're talking about here. How much of this potentially came out of the pockets from FTX originating, right? So we do see that they're talking about Alameda Research, which was the sister company. This is something that Sam Bankman-Fried was also directly and heavily tied over to with, although there was a woman named Caroline who her involvement was much more significant. And Sam is trying to play the, oh, I didn't really know what was going on card. And a lot of people just aren't really buying it. So As it is, FTX, major collapse. Alameda Research, major collapse. Sam Bankman Fried tied to both of them. And in this circumstance right here, a news website that talks about a lot of things with crypto. This individual, Sam, had funded 3 different times substantial amounts of money. So once again, these amounts were in the values of $12 million the first time, $15 million for the second time, and $16 million for the third. And the third time was to purchase a Bahamas apartment. Doesn't really seem like the guy knew how to handle funds in pretty much any regard. I don't know how much drugs Sam has taken. I don't know if he's still taking them. But reports are from people that worked there, etc., that he was heavily influenced with a lot of drugs. So, yeah, doesn't really look good on that news outlet. The Block, I don't know how they're going to do now that this information has come out. Their traffic, if I had to take an assumption, might see a little bit of a increase right now as the name is getting out there, right? People keep in mind bad news is still good news in the sense of marketing purposes. So some people may go over there and check to see what they're about and like what kind of articles they were posting, seeing if there's anything that can connect the dots for those that like to do the conspiracy theory things, right? I could see that happening and then it trailing off shortly thereafter as people kind of look at it and say, well, do we really want to trust this website anymore? There are other avenues or other outlets, I should say, that we could go to find out some of our information. Some people might be like, I could just take everything with a grain of salt. So more than likely, the Block is still going to exist. As far as whether or not they're going to get any more kind of funding, I think a lot of other people are going to be more skeptical than anything to supply them with additional funds, just because people could look at it and be like, oh, are you doing the same thing that Sam Bankman Fried was doing? And then they question whoever that donor was. And that's if the information becomes public. But do people really want to take the risk of having that information go out and be public? So, a lot of decisions that obviously need to be made with this. But at the end of the day, I'd say the biggest thing as a takeaway from this story is that there was another instance of $10+ million repeated that was just mishandled by Sam Bankman Fried again. And it's kind of like cockroaches, right? You see one cockroach, next thing you know, you're going to find out that there's a whole bunch more. And so when we find out the collapse of FTX and how that this was affecting other companies, you're like, okay, it's not affecting just one other company, i.e. Alameda Research, or I should say Alameda Research kind of affecting other things. It's the cockroach effect, right? It's affecting a whole bunch of different things. Let us know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. That's what I got for you in this video. Last thing I want to go ahead and tell you guys about what I've been talking about is Webull. You have the opportunity to get up to 12 free stocks. The referral link is in the description down below. You can also trade cryptocurrencies on their platform. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's an option for you guys. It's very simple. You open up an account, you get 2 free fractional shares. If you deposit any amount, you receive between 4 to 10 free fractional shares, and their value are probably going to be around $3 or $4 per share. It could go up to $300, $3,000 if you are lucky. And if you guys want to check that out, feel free. The link is down in the description below. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMan.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMan Oz for being higher level patrons. Also thank you to my YouTube members for your guys' support. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.